Okay, yeah, sorry about like how the dinner how the listening went, my intro went. Anyway, so this is gonna be the very first non what if Meliodas got like his power back. Non, what I mean by non, like never lost his power, because pretty much everyone only does that what if, like you can't do it none any more other what if scenarios. Like I think I have another Meliodas what if I can do. That's just Meliodas himself. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if Meliodas got cheated on? Why would Elizabeth ever cheat on him? Because of pure plot, and I just want to do this for fun to see how I do. As you see, his ships are gonna be Derriere, obviously, and Molascula. Now, this happens during like the beginning of season 2. Like, I'ma say Elizabeth is power hungry, and just like that. And Elizabeth chooses Hauser because I thought that I was, so he was pretty much the only character in the second. Ooh, nope. I just decided, nah. Instead of, screw that. This is after Meliodas got his power back, by the way. Got like that 320, like 32,255 power level after he got that back. So, as they recover Escanor. Yeah, Escanor's doing it. That man's gonna be doing it. But Meliodas doesn't notice that. He knows nothing weird happening. Because he's naive still. So, he doesn't notice that anything's going on here. So, when he battles the Ten Commandments, something snapped. Because, so this is what happened. So, it was canon. But Esterosa stabbing Nelly's heart. Meliodas' 7 heart. This is when the Demon King. This is when Meliodas in Purgatory. This is when it happened. With Meliodas now being gone. No, Escanor can always a smashy, if you know what I mean. So this is when the Demon King blasted at Meliodas. As Meliodas like, who are you laughing, father? But the Demon King like, you're so naive, my son. This is when he's like, what the fuck you mean, father? He's like, this is when he shows Meliodas Escanor and Elizabeth doing the smashy. And Meliodas then dropping to the ground in tears. And when Meliodas is angry, we all know he's angry. With his original demon mark and appearing on his forehead, to him then releasing his anger out. And this is when the Demon King that sees, this is my chance to get my successor back. And then he's like, I'm sorry that happened, my son. But I can make a deal with you. I'll let you get your power back, or your original power back, if you turn back to the dark side. With Meliodas saying, gladly. With when Meliodas comes back, he doesn't kill Fraudulent this time. He simply tells Fraudulent, let's go. We don't have this thing to do. He then said, he still kills Fraudulent. Why? Because he ain't a real commandment. Why would you? Of course. With him then taking the commandment and absorbing it himself. With him then saying, anyway. This is when the sins are like, this is when the mom's like, hey Cap, you gonna join us? You gonna join us to get a drink? This is when he looks at Bob like, stop talking to me, human. I feel like he gave him pretty much. As this may be like maybe 3 parts at most, because this is already after season 1, so like, yeah. This is already after season 1 and the end of season 2. So, Meliodas then says, anyway, I gotta take care of another human. That's when I'm like wondering, like, why Captain looking like that? Oh, no, because I'm punching Eskimo in the stomach. Not Naruto, I'm sorry. With Meliodas punching Eskimo in the stomach and then saying, now you realize, you forget, this is Meliodas' original self, and with a commandment absorbed. Which since Meliodas is a real demon, and he's the, and he was being a real demon, he can absorb commandments without getting hurt and like mentally breaking him because he no longer is on the side of the sins. He's his original self again. With Espen was like, and now yeah, with that commandment absorbed, the commandment of selflessness, that like you could say Meliodas sucks two 200 270,000 power level increases to 345,000, and with his base being 200,000. Anyway, there's some Meliodas. And remember, the one Escanor could only face Assault mode Meliodas. And Meliodas and what's the name first met him, his Assault mode was stronger than Escanor's the one. So I'm pretty sure with his Assault mode now plus a commandment absorbed, yeah, that's OP. With Meliodas insane. Anyway, guys. Anyway, I did. This is when he says I deform. I mean, this is when they have a group meeting. This is when he says, I'm disbanding the 7 deadly sins. There's no need to try to kill my allies no more. This is when they're like your allies. Escanor, he says, you have betrayed me. You have taken the woman I love. Which him then began to explain his and Elizabeth's 3,000 years love life with Escanor just breaking it somehow. With Escanor trying to apologize to the captain with him saying, you can go die, Elizabeth. Anyway, goodbye, sins. That bitch will die in 3 days anyway. This is when he then says, I'm out of here. But if he then deciding to leave and flying, is when the commandments see him. They're on guard at first. But they're seeing the attire and the twisted smile. They know they have their leader back. Meliodas insane. The 10 Commandments are reformed. Where's Fardrin? He didn't show us a commandment. I killed him. He wasn't a real commandment anyway. This is when he then says, so what should we do first? Destroy Britannia. With the Demon King then taking away the power he gave to Zeldris and giving it to Meliodas. With Meliodas saying, if you're wondering, Meliodas is stronger than Prime Mael, even with the one, he's still more powerful than. Because he got the ruler, he got a commandment absorbed, and he has his original power level. So yeah, and him and Mael were basically like the same strength. But Meliodas was in his prime. Him and Mael was pretty much equal. Now this is when Escanor, this is when it seems like, Escanor, my man, why the hell would you do that? Escanor explaining, it felt so good. But you just heard the man's story. You just did that to the captain. And now you doom Elizabeth, this incarnation of Elizabeth. And technically, that's just a messed up Bond's like. This is when this is when Merlin explains to Bond, well, not to Bond, but just for Bond's like, I gotta save my friend. This is when Merlin's like, no, can't do it. His emotions are infuriatory, and even then, his emotions wouldn't want to be near as similar because of his foolish deed. So anyway, this is when a relationship is formed between Jerry and Meliodas. It's just that Monsty only thought Jerry as a friend. But Meliodas then he says his sorrow towards Elliot. He's gonna remember she did lose her sister when the archangel Ludovico killed all those innocent demons that weren't really bothering anyone. So yeah. So this is when like Arthur then he just still pulled out the sword, but this time Meliodas is stronger than he was, way stronger than he was in canon, so he overpowers he overpowers what's the name? As this is when well this is when the Demon King then take away everyone's commandment, right? But they still have like all their they just lose their like special commandment ability. But besides that, they still have all their other powers. Their power level stays the same, by the way. But he's saying my son is in between the stages of becoming the next Demon King, and that's the end of this part. Okay, guys, so this is gonna be the second part. So, what if Meliodas was cheated on? So today I'm only gonna be doing this and then another Meliodas series since no one really doing a Meliodas what if like that besides the one I already mentioned to y'all. What if Meliodas got his power back? So I'm gonna start doing more Meliodas what ifs and other what ifs in general. And I won't be doing that many new ones, but I'm just finishing up other ones. So they'll be forgotten off my channel. Just kidding. They will eventually get redone, obviously. Since in the past I had a bad microphone, we all know that. So other what ifs may just be redone in the future. But without further ado, we're gonna do what if Meliodas was cheated on. Roll the intro from me, God. Alright guys, where we left off is where the Demon King decide to let Meliodas absorb the Ten Commandments. So Meliodas still gets trapped inside of the big the big darkness energy orb of him absorbing the Ten Commandments. Now I know I'm showing a picture of Meliodas looking like with the Demon King absorbing his body, but that's gonna be his base form, you can say. It's his base form. And that's gonna be his outfit. He's gonna have his actual true final form later on in the series. So now we go to the sin side. So as everyone as King Bartras, I believe is his name, King Bartras, then is now alerted that King Bartras is now alerted that Meliodas is has disbanded the seven deadly sins. Which he says, how did it happen? Which Bond, like that idiot over there, took Captain's woman, you can say. We mean by woman. King Bartras like, aka Elizabeth, dummy. That's what everyone's like. Oh, okay. And he's joined the side of the Ten Commandments. And we currently do not know where he's at. Because this time Meliodas' powers hidden. But they still get the same mission they get in canon, and they still have their bit. So instead, they see but Merlin still gets the headache as canon, which Elizabeth still goes. She still goes to she still goes to you know, fix Merlin's headache as canon, as she still does regret what she did, because the reason why this has happened, I know you know the curse, and I'm aware of the curse and everything, but the reason why this happened is because the Demon King and Supreme Deity made a deal that if she takes away Meliodas' curse, changes up Meliodas' curse, and she you know, they just made a deal. So that's why this is happening. Since I know the actual lore, except no, since I'm not an idiot. So basically, the Supreme Deity changed Meliodas' curse because the Demon King was tired of seeing Meliodas always have a happy ending, but after a while, she gets killed. So he decided to change things up because he's a dick after all. And I don't like the Demon King that much, but I also love him at the same time. Anyway, so Meliodas, with just being the spirit orb, which I'm gonna change something up. I'm gonna add my own little flavor. So Meliodas, he would see another emotion of him, which is his human side and the side that he bond with the Seven Sins and all their missions together. That side, the side where he cared, his caring side, you could say. But he's basically like, why am I? But this is when his demon side is like, you idiot, you're just naive. You realize that stupid goddess just betrayed us. You think she did it on purpose? Of course. The demon side is like, she never trusted someone like a goddess anyway. So this is when the human side of Meliodas is then given as Meliodas continues to absorb the Ten Commandments, the other half of the Demon King's power, since the Ten Commandments currently still have it. So the seven deadly sins. So Elizabeth in her mind, which the original Elizabeth still loves and cares for Meliodas, but it's this incarnation of Elizabeth specifically. So I'm not saying Elizabeth entirely, just that specific reincarnation of her. So Elizabeth would then see Zildris in her mind as Zildris says, you're nothing but a filthy slut. To think my brother actually fall for someone like a goddess. Disgusting. Zildris is like, but you know, as women are like when they cheat on you, I didn't try to. It's just it's just nothing. Zildris is like, dang, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I didn't really need to do this, but I actually did at the same time. I was kind of against myself doing this. I want to be against this, but then at the same time, I really don't want to because I like Elizabeth's character. I don't like the sibling scenes, and I don't really like ruining Meliodas' like character. I really don't like doing that, but in this story, I have to. So sorry about those people who die of her care about Elizabeth and other clans and stuff like that. You guys know. Because I care for the civilized story and I'll enjoy it. But this is just how it is going to be in this story. So anyway, guys, so everything aside, we're going to be doing so. Okay, I'm sorry for the current silence. So anyway, so this is when Zildjian still tells Elizabeth about original Soph, and the Ents and King still does tell Elizabeth about the trial and yada yada yada. Which they'll just end up he still end up taking away the two commandments from Joel and Gloxinia since he found out that they trained Deanne and King, which were their enemies. So he ended up taking those two commandments away from them, and he gave it to Meliodas. Now, Zildjian is basically So Villagers still. I'm sorry again. So let me explain. So, so basically, Meliodas also did promise Villagers that he would also release Gilda from her magic barrier, from the magic seal he has, just once he becomes the Demon King. And he promises Villagers that he won't be like their father. Try to be, mm, try to be a better big brother and more like him, more like Villagers, you could say. Like the Villagers that cares, you can say. More like that version of Villagers. But anyway, so Elizabeth began to get her memories back, and once she gained her original memories back, she then said, "Oh no, what have one of my incarnations done? They ruined our entire relationship." This is when the Supreme Deity, this when DB got like, "Damn it! This woman managed to get it. If her original self managed to do anything, that means, oh no, if the Demon King doesn't know what to do right now, considering he also changed, he also was, it was also the same with the bargain." So anyway, guys, so this is when they end up getting to where the Ten Commandments are, as this is when this is when like everything happens in canon, but like when they actually catch up to where Meliodas has also has still got unleashed, as the darkness barrier is now broken, as they see a much older and taller Meliodas around the same height as Bond, which with the outfit he has in canon, and the wings and everything. So Meliodas says, "So since I've seen you have made it to where I was, this is when Bond's like, Captain, what has happened to you?" Isn't he's like, isn't he just has like a laugh? You really, you really thought I was the person you knew? As he continues to laugh. It was a mere illusion, and it was a illusion, you can say. Continues to laugh, as if a human could actually befriend a demon. You're nothing but a fool. That's just sad. That's what he says. Uh, as he says, "What is that woman doing here?" Looking at Elizabeth. I've seen you gain your memories back. As he continues, now beginning to laugh more. You only have 3 days, you know. Just as Leonard was like, "What do you mean?" Captain, still respecting him, not understanding the mark on his chest as a symbol of the Demon King. Meliodas began to explain their 300 journey to everyone. 3,000 years ago, as he begins to explain the Holy War, as he begins the relationship, all the other incarnations, but the last one currently was the one to cheat on me. I actually never thought that was happening. I guess I was being naive. The goddess clan had me wrapped around their little finger. But that will never happen again. I won't let that happen again. No. It is one of the said, Meliodas, it wasn't an illusion. It was nothing. I do care for you. And why would you cheat on me with this human who has taken a arc from the supreme deity, Sunshine, my rival Mario's power? She says, "I don't know." That's what she can say because she don't know. She can't explain what's going on. That's what I thought. "Now it's time for divine punishment," he says. As he then says, I will seal all of you away for eternity, as I will destroy all of you. This is when Escanor like, I'm sorry, Captain, I didn't understand. I have a bone to pick with you anyway. This is when he looks at Merlin. Killing Merlin to put up a perfect cube. If you don't want me to destroy everything that's around us. As this is when it's kind of basically a pretty one-sided fight, the same as Canon. But Escanor never gets, not even on below on Meliodas. And when he enters the one, all Meliodas does is he crushes Escanor under his he crushes Escanor under his darkness. And adding gravity to it as well. As everyone is shocked, as he said, as he just continues to laugh, saying, "See, oh, see, Elizabeth, he's nothing." As this is when Merlin's confused, as it's kind of like Estero, what happened to Esterosa. Like, one side doesn't want to hurt his friend, and the other side doesn't. You can kind of say it's like that, but it's not the power controlling him. It's his mind. It's not the commandments. None of the demon king's power, since he's a demon himself. He's literally the real son. There's nothing wrong with him physically and mentally. It's more of mentally. It's not no power controlling him. It's more of why, and it's why I love this. Slamming his head against the wall. Why? He's just mentally broken. But since he's a demon, I don't think a demon can actually be mentally and physically broken inside. At least what we've seen. I don't think that's possible. As this is when he says to finish you, as he begins to extract the soul from Escanor, with, with Elizabeth telling Merlin to break the perfect cube now before Escanor dies. But Elizabeth pulling a sock around and hugging Meliodas from behind, with them looking at her. And he pulls a beard and slaps her. But it wasn't like a slap. It wasn't like the slap Beerus gave her, sparing mercy. He didn't kill her, but he sent her flying back to where the boar hat was, which that was pretty far in the distance. Like, dang, that had to hurt. This is when he says, I'll give you one last chance to leave 7 deadly sins. You're no longer. I've already told you. Why are you people even here anymore? Goodbye. And as he begins to lift them up using telekinesis, telekinetic powers, since he's the demon. I'm pretty sure a demon king can use something as simple as that. As he telekinetic throws them all the way back to the boar hat and put up a darkness barrier around her. As he says goodbye, my former teammates. And that will end part 2.